Oh my gosh, I've just arrived in the capital of Bavaria. I'm standing at Marienplatz. This is the famous Glockenspiel. I'm going to be spending an entire week in Munich. Follow along as I check out all the best things to do in the Bavarian capital. Marienplatz is the beating heart of Munich and the ideal spot to start a tour of the Bavarian capital. The bustling square has been known by its current name since 1854, when it was renamed after the Virgin Mary following a cholera epidemic. Munich's Alt Rathaus, known as the Old Town Hall, and Neues Rathaus, known as the New Town Hall, share an intriguing history and architectural contrast. The Old Town Hall, though older, is often mistaken for a newer building due to its plain facade, while the New Town Hall's ornate design is more prominent. The New Town Hall is also known for its Glockenspiel, a mechanical clock that enacts scenes from Munich's history. Join the tourist crowds at 11 a.m. to watch the fantastic and famous Glockenspiel show. Have a listen and take a look at what you get to see. After enjoying the Glockenspiel show, your next stop should be St. Peter's Church. It's located just a 2-minute walk from the Marienplatz. St. Peter's Church is the oldest church in Munich, with roots tracing back to the 8th century, and the church building itself today dates back to the 12th century. The 91-meter or 299-foot tower offers a spectacular panoramic view of Munich, and on clear days you can even see the Alps in the distance. The tower, known as Altar Peter, has a rich history with the oldest documented city clocks that feature 8 dials and bells, including the Poor Sinner's Bell, that used to ring during executions. The weathered grave slabs on the outer walls of the church take visitors on a journey back in time. Art treasures include the nearly 300-year-old Baroque high altar with golden figure of St. Peter, which is one of Munich's best-known ecclesiastical art treasures. The Heilig Geist church is located right beside, so just skip over here and you'll find one of the oldest surviving hall churches in the city, located right near the Viktualienmarkt. It was built in 1392. The church's interior features stunning Rococo frescoes and stucco work. The church also has a bell called the Breitsneider bell, named after the medieval tradition of a pretzel rider who distributed food to the poor. The nearby Viktualienmarkt has been in its current location for over 100 years, though it was previously located in the Marienplatz. A traditional maypole is a prominent feature of the market, serving as a gathering place. The city's bustling food market is best known for its diverse selection of restaurants, flower shops, and culinary emporiums. It also has a unique beer garden that operated by all of Munich's breweries, offering a rotating selection of beers. The market also features 7 fountains, some of with figures of Munich personalities like Karl Valentin and Liesl Karlstadt. It's a popular spot for locals and tourists alike, offering everything from Bavarian specialties to exotic treats. The market's name actually means food, reflecting its historical role as a central marketplace for provisions. Since the Glockenspiel goes off at 11 a.m. and those 2 churches we visited earlier only take about an hour to visit, we recommend coming to the market for lunch. You can enjoy a really casual and affordable lunch. You can also just order a bunch of the food items here, everything from pickles to olives to cheeses, and pack yourself a lovely picnic. There's also lovely wine shops, but I do want to just showcase my favorite vendor in the market, which is this excessive cheese shop. Okay, we're gonna go through. That's Parmigiano Reggiano. We've got a selection of Dutch cheeses, Italian cheeses, French cheeses. Of course, we've got German cheeses. But this is just what they have on the outside. You can go inside to see cheese, and of course, it ends with Easter eggs. The Asamkirche in Munich is a stunning example of late Baroque and Rococo architecture built by the Asam brothers, Cosmas Damian and Egid Curran, between 1733 and 1746. It's a private church, originally intended for the brothers, but later opened to the public. The church is known for its intricate designs and lavish decorations. Despite the church's small size, it measures just 9 meters wide and 22 meters long. The Burgersaalkirche, or Citizens' Hall Church in Munich, is a historical building originally used as a prayer and meeting hall for the Marian congregation of men, before being consecrated as a church in 1778. The lower church was initially a printing house for the congregation and was later transformed into a crypt-like space that now kind of appears like an art gallery. Don't miss out on the church's unique museum located at the back of the crypt. The church houses the Father Rupert Mayer Museum, which is dedicated to the beatified Catholic resistance fighter against the Nazi regime. Nearby, you'll find St. Michael's Church, which was the first and largest Renaissance church to be built north of the Alps. Built in the 16th century, it's a significant example of Renaissance architecture and was influenced by the Jesuits' mother church in Rome, Il Gesù. The church features a massive 20-meter wide barrel vault, one of the largest in the world. Its unique design influenced church building in southern Germany for the next 2 centuries. The Frauenkirche is a famous Gothic brick church with 2 towering onion domes, a landmark of the city. It was built between 1468 and 1488 by Jorg von Halsbach. A black mark known as the Tutorstritt, Devil's Footprint, at the entrance is said to be a legend. The crypt houses the tomb of a Holy Roman Emperor, Louis IV, and the south tower is open to visitors and offers panoramic views over the Alps. Fun fact, by law, no buildings can obstruct the view of the cathedral. The Munich Residenz is a sprawling complex, which has been the official residence and seat of the Bavarian rulers from 1508 to 1918. It's now one of the largest urban palaces in Germany, filled with period rooms, art collections, and treasures. Speaking of treasures, I recommend when you arrive to start your visit at the Treasury. This requires a combination ticket. It's a little bit more expensive than just getting the Residenz Museum pass, but well worth it because you get to see royal crowns, a collection beyond belief with golden towers, amazing sets of beauty products, and look at these ornate platters that would have been used when serving dignified guests. The highlight of the treasury is the ancestral gallery, which is filled with portraits of the Wittelsbach family. It's a testament to the dynasty's power and influence. Look at this room. All of these portraits, gold, mirrors, it's fabulous. The grotto courtyard is certain to force a jaw drop. Take a close look and you'll notice that everything in this room is made of seashells. Look closely, you'll see tiny little shells as well as larger shells. Just incredible. As you skip through the museum, you'll also find beautiful halls. You can peek through windows to see other areas of the palace. The antiquarium is the first building of the new residence to be completed. It's a Renaissance masterpiece and the largest secular hall of its kind north of the Alps. Here are some fun facts. The residence began as a modest castle in 1385 and was expanded over the centuries by various rulers, becoming the vast palace that we see today. Much of the residence was destroyed during World War II, but it was painstakingly rebuilt and restored to its former glory. The Wittelsbach family, who ruled Bavaria for centuries, used the residence as their official residence and seat of government. The residence is now a spatial art museum that approximately has 130 rooms that showcase various periods and styles, from the Renaissance to Neoclassicism. The residence houses impressive collections of art, including silverware, relics, bronzes, and porcelain, reflecting the tastes and ambitions of the Wittelsbach dynasty. It also boasts a large collection of books, including the famous Royal Library, which was once the official library of the Bavarian rulers. What I loved most about visiting the residence is that it feels like you're visiting several museums in one. For example, right now we're visiting classic Bavarian porcelain figurines. They also have a huge silverware collection. And then you're also having what feels like a bit of a Palace of Versailles moment, where you're getting to see how royals used to live. You can see through this video moment here, you can just walk endlessly down hallways with rooms on your left and right side that are dressed to impress, sky-high windows, mirrors reflecting beautiful gold. Munich has so many fantastic museums and art galleries, so if you only have 1 or 2 days in Munich, I really want to highly recommend that residence be a priority because you can essentially enjoy art, You can learn about the history of Bavaria and do it all in one ticket. You're going to absolutely love the Residenz Museum. My next museum is an absolute tongue twister. It's called the Museum für Abguisse Klassischer Bildwerke, or the Museum of Plaster Casts of Classical Sculptures, which offers a really unique experience because it features a collection of 2,000 plaster casts of Greek and Roman sculptures. It's one of my favorite museums in Munich, as admission is free, so if you're looking for cheap things to do, especially on a rainy day, head here, you won't have to pay a cent. The museum, which had an eventful history, including being destroyed and rebuilt, is now part of the House of Cultural Institutes. Its main attraction is a scale model of the Parthenon in Athens. The museum features meticulously crafted plaster casts of famous sculptures like the Venus de Milo and the Nike of Samothrace, not the original marble or bronze versions. The collection spans the period from 700 BC to 500 AD, showcasing the evolution of Greek and Roman sculptures. The main collection spans 2 rooms on the main floor, but skip up the stairs to enjoy pretty views overlooking all of these plaster cast sculptures. Take a stroll up the street and you'll find the State Museum of Egyptian Art, which is a unique museum in Munich dedicated entirely to ancient Egyptian art, offering a fascinating journey through 5,000 years of history. It's not just the impressive collection, but also the museum's architecture, designed by Peter and Gottfried Bohm, which evokes the atmosphere of ancient Egyptian tombs and temples. The museum exhibition space is completely underground, mimicking the experience of entering an Egyptian temple or tomb. The architecture is inspired by ancient Egyptian sacral buildings, with a wide stairway leading underground and large cathedral-like rooms. The museum is also known for its emphasis on circular sculpture and its barrier-free accessibility. The museum places a particular focus on sculpture, particularly the dialogue between portraiture and idealization. If you're an Egyptology fan like me who's taken a Nile cruise from Luxor to Aswan, you are going to love the Egyptian Museum in Munich. All of the sarcophagi are going to be smiling back at you. A short walk up the street and you'll find the Glyptothek, which is Munich's oldest public museum, which is specifically dedicated to ancient Greek and Roman sculpture. It was built in the early 19th century by King Ludwig I and completed in 1830. The building's neoclassical style was designed by Leo von Klenz, featuring an Ionic temple front and houses a collection of sculptures, mosaics, and reliefs from the Archaic to late Roman periods. The Glyptothek holds a collection of high-quality Greek and Roman marble sculptures, including the Barberini Faun, the Drunken Old Woman, and gable figures from the Temple of Aphaia. If you've been to Greece or have a penchant for ancient Roman history, this museum is for you. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to visit, so it's not overly daunting. They have a beautiful cafe and terrace in the inner courtyard, so grab a coffee, a slice of German cake, and enjoy stepping back in time. The Alt Pinakothek is one of the oldest art museums in Europe, with a collection tracing art history from the Middle Ages to the 18th century. Founded by Bavarian King Ludwig I in 1836, the museum was a groundbreaking design, influencing museum architecture across Europe. It's home to iconic artworks like Leonardo da Vinci's Madonna of the Coronation and masterpieces by Rembrandt, Dürer, and Rubens. The museum's collection originated from the private art collections of the Wittelsbach family and grew significantly through the secularization of the 19th century and acquisitions by Ludwig I of Bavaria. The museum has been experimenting with new ways to present its collection, including thematic groupings and dialogue constellations that invite visitors to rediscover familiar masterpieces. We recommend visiting the best art gallery in all of Munich on Sunday if you can, as entrance is just €1 per person. You can also sign up and pay for a private tour in whichever language best suits you if you're looking to learn more about specific artworks. Once we finish looking at the permanent collection. On the main floor, they also had a temporary exhibit that showcased some more modern collections of art, including, look, there's some Van Gogh. And next up, we're going to head just down the street to Pinakothek der Moderne. If Alt Pinakothek is Munich's must-see fine arts museum showcasing European masters, this complex, just up the street, houses 4 distinct museums under one roof, showcasing modern art, design, architecture, and graphic arts. This unique 4-in-1 concept allows visitors to explore all of these fields with just one single ticket. The museum's building was designed by architect Stephen Brothels and is characterized by its large windows, long columns, and domed rotunda. The museum's collection spans from the early 20th century to the present, including works by renowned artists like Picasso and Warhol. We really enjoyed visiting this modern art museum. We visited on Sunday when tickets are just €1. So if you're visiting Munich on a weekend, try to plan all of your museum visits on a Sunday. You'll get a great workout and can save lots of money by visiting on Sunday. This area of the museum had a great collection of furniture. We also saw some kitchen design and comparing some old vintage egg beaters. This was my favorite section of the museum, which featured a lot of avant-garde sculptural works. This is one of the 7 dwarves with his face blown off. Here we have a whole bunch of fuzzy, multicolored polar bears dancing around the gallery. Now this 7 dwarf situation has giant phalluses. Even his hand is a large, uncircumcised penis. Can't stop looking at that. Now we look down through the rotunda, you see lots of really comfortable couches. Here is a bust of a queen of Egypt. We've also got a dolly, some really fascinating chairs and glasswork that look like shrooms. The artists come from all over the world. This particular sculpture looks like an astronaut. This is a Care Bear that loves you, as well as a E.T. piece. These split heads were quite interesting. Here is a famous Picasso. Then we've got some more sculptural works that are nicely juxtaposed with artwork. This is a room full of knots. If you ever thought you hadn't seen enough knots in one room, let me tell you, we saw all the knots you could ever want to see for the rest of your life in one room. We've got some more cubism. There's rooms with multimedia, so these are cushioned areas where you can watch some television. We've got some nudist work as well as some additional colorful triptych panels and some really interesting pieces that feature stuffed animals. And before you leave, make sure to check out the spaceship. Now we're going to head to Englischer Garten. It is the largest green space in Munich. In the summer, people even bathe nude here. There is several rivers and people playing volleyball. It's the place to hang out. The Chinese Tower Beer Garden is the 2nd largest beer garden in the city, and if it's a sunny day, make sure to head here for what we recommend is lunch, but at dinner it's really busy as well. They had a live polka band performing. We came here on Easter Sunday, so tons of families were out and about enjoying the gardens, and we ordered a bratwurst with tons of sauerkraut, sweet mustard, a big giant Hofbräuhaus wheat beer with fries, ketchup, and mayonnaise. This was around $25. We shared it. It was a really great lunch after walking through so many museums in one day. They do have people that will come by the table to bring you more beer, but look how beautiful that pagoda is. Super beaut. If you want to dive deep into the history of Bavaria, the Bavarian National Museum is a must-see. Founded by King Maximilian II in 1855, it's one of the largest and most important decorative arts museums in all of Europe. The current building, designed by Gabriel Sandil, is a masterpiece of historicism, showcasing a blend of architectural styles. It houses a vast array of art and cultural artifacts, including sculptures, paintings, furniture, weapons, and a world-renowned collection of nativity scenes. The collection is spread out across 2 floors, and we recommend giving yourself at least an hour and a half to visit the museum, but if you're in a rush, you can get it done in about an hour. This area was our favorite, filled with huge sculptural works, lots of really fascinating woodwork as well. The religious art was really astounding. This beautiful gate you could imagine being in the front of a cathedral. We also took in all the antiques, especially Bavaria's love for porcelain figures. We've got some royal busts. This room was amazing. It's full of intricately carved ivory pieces, which is pretty wild. The music area will be a big jaw dropper for anyone who loves pianos, cellos, and guitars. Also, if you're a fan of games, they have a whole area that showcases vintage chess sets. If you love feasting, they have a ginormous table filled with silverware, and fashion fans will adore looking at all the pomp and panache of these gorgeous dresses and fabulous footwear. If you're a food and drink lover visiting Munich for the first time, a meal at the Hofbräuhaus is a must. This world-famous beer hall boasts a rich history, starting as a brewery for the Bavarian court in 1589, and later becoming a popular beer hall open to the public in 1828. The beer hall's substantial capacity seats an overwhelming 3,000 people inside and 400 more in the beer gardens outside. The 3-story building also features lively beer halls and outdoor terraces, so this was taken from the upstairs view. During Oktoberfest, the city's most popular festival, over 35,000 visitors visit daily. I was lucky that my parents and sister came to Munich to join me, so our first meal, of course, had to be at the Hofbräuhaus. We sipped from the famous 1-liter steins. You can order Weissbier, their classic lager. They also have Radlers. And then we ordered a selection of their classic Bavarian signature dishes. So that included a delicious cheesy Spätzle with onions and cheese, a crispy schnitzel with a delicious cranberry sauce and potato salad, and then we also ordered a pork loin with potato dumplings and bread dumplings, as well as crispy pork. Listen to the polka band. If you are a car lover visiting Germany, a trip to BMW Welt, which means BMW World, is a unique experience for automotive fans visiting Munich, and most importantly, it's free. Famous for its futuristic design, the multi-level showroom is a delivery hub for newly launched BMW vehicles, offering guided tours, exhibitions, and a chance to witness the company's production process. While primarily a BMW experience center, BMW Welt also features Rolls-Royce and mini exhibitions. The second floor also features motorcycles. Walk over a little bridge and you'll find the BMW Museum. This is a ticketed experience. When I went, it was absolutely packed. I waited in line for an hour to get in, so highly recommend booking a ticket online before you arrive. BMW's Car Museum showcases the history and evolution of the BMW brand, featuring over 125 vehicles and engines. The museum also includes exhibits on design, engines, and motorsport, and is designed by the same architect who designed the administration tower for the 1972 Summer Olympics. The museum has displayed at least one of the 17 art cars from the collection, designed by artists like Andy Warhol and Jeff Koons. If you are a car fan, this is the museum for you. It feels like an endless, eye-popping display, really futuristic. There's video installations. The majority of people here are on their phones taking selfies. A lot of fathers taking pictures of their young sons in front of their favorite cars, so it's definitely a great thing to do with the family. They have guided tours, so you can see this lady is actually doing a guided tour in English, showcasing how some of the engines pop out of the cars. So it's a guided tour is really a good idea if you're an absolute car nerd. If you're a BMW lover or race car lover, as well as just keen to know what the future of cars look like, near the end of the exhibit, there's a really great selection of M1 race cars. So if you're really into speed racing, there's also a really cool vintage area with an Elvis car where people take pictures, some demonstrations on the different colors you can choose for your BMW, and it finishes off, of course, with some eco-conscious storytelling related to clean energy. Nymphenburg Palace, a Bavarian elector's gift to his wife, evolved from a small country house to a grand Baroque palace used as a summer residence for the House of Wittelsbach. The palace is known for its impressive gardens, parks, and unique historical features. The palace is conveniently located a short 30-minute tram ride from Munich's main train station. When arriving at the palace, we recommend starting in the palace. The palace is actually much smaller in terms of the number of rooms you can see than the residence, which is in the downtown part of the city. You can kind of consider this to be a bit of like a summer cottage, if you can say that, even though it's so glamorous, compared to the residence, which was the main residence of the royals. You can skip through some beautiful rooms. There's portraits of famous, rich Bavarian family members, and you'll find chandeliers, gorgeous antique furniture, and you can even check out one of the royal bedrooms. This area of the tour only takes about 40 minutes. The rest of your time will be spent exploring the park. We suggest starting at the Great Parterre. This is a large stretch of grass with flowers and beautiful sculptures. Next up, head to the Magdalenenklasse, a heritage-style building designed to look like an old ruin. It's a place of contemplation and reflection, inspired by the life of Mary Magdalene. The interior is fully made of shells, so if you look really closely, the entire wall and ceilings are made of tiny little seashells. Continue up the park path and you'll find the Pagodenburg, which was built between 1716 and 1719 by Joseph Effner. Inside this two-story building, you'll discover Arab, Indian, and Chinese art, wallpapers, and porcelain. The white and blue building sits perched over a lake where, if you're lucky, you'll find local swans and ducks. We're going to head right down the stairs here to check out the local nature. We've got a duck that's going to get attacked. Look at that. We've also got little cute chickens. We were visiting in April, so it's the springtime where you'll find lots of little baby animals. The 180-hectare complex is the second largest green space in Munich. It's one of the largest palaces in Germany and one of the most important in Europe. The actual park is free to access, so you'll find locals enjoying a jog. You don't have to pay to come here, so you do have to pay to come into all these separate buildings as well as the palace, but if you're looking for something free to do, head to the palace for a free stroll in the park. The Badenberg is a bathing pavilion, which is considered the first heated indoor swimming pool of modern times. Built between 1719 and 1721, it showcases opulent Roman-style baths with influences from Islamic bathing culture. There are even these gilded, golden pieces of sculptural work on the Asian-inspired wallpaper to hint at the baths. Right now, we've just skipped through a few of the main rooms at the center of the building, but now we're going to actually show you what the baths look like. Can you imagine having a public bath here with all these fancy, rich royals? Just below would be filled with water. That was the bath there. Another must-visit building within the park is the Amalienburg, which is an over-the-top hunting lodge, a stunning example of European Rococo architecture. The lodge features a unique hall of mirrors, which was a central element in its design, and it's known for its exquisite stucco work, wood carvings, and paintings. Can you imagine going hunting and coming back and this is the place you're gonna hang out with your guy friends? Just absolutely wild. Saving the best for last, the Marienplatz Museum showcases a collection of over 40 antique coaches, sleighs, and gala carriages representing 3 centuries of Wittelsbach family history. The museum is located in the prestigious old royal riding stables at the palace, and it's a museum that highlights include the coronation coach of Emperor Karl VII and various sleighs and carriages used by King Ludwig II. We just know you're going to love visiting the capital of Bavaria. Munich has delicious food, absolutely out-of-this-world museums, and pretty palaces.